Thank you, Elisheva and Brian. That was amazing. So, for those of you who don't know me, and I have my water here. Okay. I am Karen Roberts. I am your Vice President of the Board of Trustees here at Unity Santa Fe. I'm also one of the regular platform assistants and an occasional song leader. But today, I am so excited because in the next 10 minutes or less, I have the opportunity to share with you 3 secrets that have been secrets only for the board. And I said to Reverend Liz, everybody needs to know this stuff. So she gave me this opportunity to share these secrets with you. So the first one is the monthly minister's report. Just before the last Board of Trustees meeting on Saturday, March 19th, Reverend Liz sent the board her monthly minister's report, and she's been doing this for 3 months, but this time I really took the time to look at it and read it. You know, I've seen them before, but I really took the time this time. And what she does in this report is she tells us what she did last month, what she's currently doing this month, and what she plans to do next month. And so I was absorbing the pure magnitude of everything that Reverend Liz has been doing since she became our senior minister on December 1st, and I realized that here was the secret that I needed to share with all of you. I was going to do it at the annual meeting, but there wasn't time, so I get this time now. So I caught Spirit's vision of me sharing with everyone here in our Unity community all the wonderful, marvelous, and amazing things that Reverend Liz has been doing since December 1st. And I feel really strongly about doing this because I want everyone to know what an incredible woman we have right now, sitting right here. And I want you to know what she does behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. So first, a bit of history, and this will help those of you who have been attending since December 1st. In September 2021, Reverend Brendalyn Batchelor, who was our senior minister for 27 years, retired. She had given us a year's notice, and boy, did we do a lot of work preparing for this transition. A lot of work individually and collectively. We studied 2 books on transition and offered soul circles on those. We attended workshops to identify who we were as a spiritual community and where we thought we were going, where we were headed. And we did a lot of inner work. We took the time after prayer and meditation to answer the questions in 2 significant surveys that were sent about a year ago. The first survey asked, again, questions about the spiritual community, what was working, what wasn't, what our visions were. And the second survey focused on the qualities that we wanted in a new minister. Now, are you ready for this? The first question of the second survey was, what 3 words describe what you want in a minister? This was an open-ended question, but here are the top 7. Loving, open, compassionate, energetic, authentic, creative, and funny. Do we not have those things with our Reverend Liz? Yeah. So shortly after these surveys were issued and the results were shared, we welcomed Reverend Eliza Bloom Robinson, who we hired to be our transitional consultant and then our transitional minister. And we were so incredibly blessed by her superpowers. From late September until December 2021, Reverend Eliza taught us that we are all energetically connected. We are connected to each other and to the field, and she loved to say, "It is done." Reverend Eliza made sure we repeated our new minister affirmation every Sunday service and during the monthly board meetings and the weekly transition team huddles. Do you remember that affirmation? Janine's going to show it right now. Let's all just say it. We affirm that the right and perfect minister who embraces our Unity Santa Fe values and embodies Spirit's grand expression for our congregation is serving our spiritual community at the right and perfect time for the highest good of all, this or something better, and so it is. And that last line was just to encapsulate anything that we may have been forgetting in the affirmation. So yes, we affirmed through prayer and affirmation that we were attracting the right and perfect minister, and we claimed that it was done. So Reverend Eliza held sacred space for us, knowing the truth of who we were, or who we be, as she liked to say. interesting grammar from an English major perspective. I had to kind of change that a little bit to who are we being or how are we showing up? Well, I know that we all showed up as the faith-filled beings that we are, because in this moment in time, right here, right now, is proof that by practicing affirmative prayer and meditation and knowing its power, we became what we envisioned. And guess what? Because we were that, we attracted that. We attracted Reverend Liz, who is, without a doubt, the right and perfect minister for Unity Santa Fe. So, secret number 2, and this is just speaking of doubt, there was a tiny ripple of doubt in the fabric of our community when it was announced that Reverend Liz would be the only candidate that would be invited for candidate weekend. We were asked, why only one? Aren't we going to have more to choose from? Well, the Board of Trustees put our faith in the search team. The search team said, you know, we saw a lot of resumes, we interviewed a bunch of candidates, but this one person rose to the top, and it would be unfair to the rest of the candidates to even invite them because they were so sure that Reverend Liz was the one. So I'm so proud of the search team, and I'm proud of us for doing the inner work, the fun work of the prayer and meditation, where collective energy was connecting in the field with Reverend Liz's energy. You need to know that she too was doing her affirmative prayer and meditation to attract the right and perfect spiritual community for her, a place where her own spiritual journey could continue to unfold. So back to secret number 1, which is what Reverend Liz has been doing these last 4 months. I'm going to read to you some of the things from her minister's report, and I've shortened this to avoid repetition, but see if you can identify a theme here. So during the month of December, Reverend Liz delivered her first set of Sunday services on Hanukkah, winter solstice, and Kwanzaa. She attended her first finance team meeting, board meeting, and leadership huddles, facilitated a Bringing in the Light to Zay service by Reverend Donna Michaels on Zoom, held a Christmas Eve candlelighting service in person and in the cyber sanctuary, worked with Brian Bennett and the soloists weekly with song suggestions with the talk team, and she does that all the time, every month. She got her office painted, furniture rearranged, and pictures hung. She got her social media game on by inviting friends to like Unity Santa Fe and began posting daily uplifting quotes and pictures for inspiration on Facebook. Oh, and let's not forget that Reverend Liz moved here from Colorado in late November, so she was still settling into her apartment and getting to know Santa Fe while doing all of this. Then in January, Reverend Liz led 5 Sunday services, starting with dissolving bowl and white stone ceremonies on January 2nd. She began her Rappin' with the Rev Zoom sessions, worked with the prayer chaplains to learn more about the prayer chaplain program, started the process of looking through various files and manuals to learn everything she could about Unity Santa Fe, scheduled one-on-one meetings with key leaders and congregants, and began taking her final Unity Worldwide Ministries 10-week course for Unity ordination. In February, did you know, some of you knew, but some of you didn't, that Reverend Liz was serving as our communications administrator, which is a part-time position that we normally pay somebody to do, and we didn't have anyone for at least 2 months. So here's Reverend Liz doing all these things, and she's doing the communications administration position, including writing content for the e-newsletters and sending those out. And all the while, she's preparing and delivering 4 more Sunday services focusing on the power of love for no reason, with assignments. She launched the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success class, began a grief group on Zoom, continued to hold one-on-one meetings with the congregants, continued to attend the finance meetings and board meetings, held a youth and family ministry interest meeting, offered spiritual counseling sessions, and continued to attend weekly classes for her final UWM 10-week course for Unity ordination. In March, besides preparing and delivering 4 more Sunday services focusing on the power of faith, the messages that we've all come to love and expect from her, right? She continued to work with Wanda, Jessica, and Heidi, you guys rock, on business-related items. She finally hired a communications administrator and trained him, or maybe even in the process of training him still. Kept attending all the board meetings, prepared for today's annual meeting, and she completed her weekly classes for her final UWM 10-week course for Unity ordination. And that's the theme. So just a little bit of backstory there. Reverend Liz is an ordained Center for Spiritual Living minister, ordained in 2016 while at the Center for Spiritual Living in Tahoe, Truckee. To become a Unity minister, Reverend Liz entered the Special Dispensation Plan, which is a 2-year plan on becoming an ordained Unity minister. And she needed to be employed as a minister for 2 years at a Unity church before that happened. So she was the minister at Unity Fort Collins for almost 2 years, until November 30, 2021. So here's the secret number 3. This past week, Reverend Liz had 3 grueling virtual ordination progress interviews to determine whether she is now competent enough in 99 Unity ministerial standards to qualify to be an ordained minister. And drum roll, please, she passed! And now, our dear Reverend Liz will be going to Unity Village, where she has never been before, in June for the Unity Worldwide Ministry Convention and her official Unity ordination ceremony. And she's done all of this while holding sacred space for Unity Santa Fe, while staying in this place of peace and love and faith and imagination. And I am so, so proud of all of us here. Seen and unseen, including and especially Reverend Liz. I'm proud of us because we did the work. We embraced and embodied the energy and the essence of God as it breathes in us, as us. We held sacred space for the right and perfect minister who would be, above all else, loving. Well, Reverend Liz is teaching us to live in love, as love, moment by moment. And I know that with Reverend Liz, we will all go far, both individually and collectively as a spiritual community. She is our answered prayer. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I need a nap. Right? Anyone need a nap? I was like, she did all that? Yeah, and I do need a nap. I did actually start planning I need some days off and working with that. I brought this up because this was on my first day here in the sanctuary, being passed the baton, so to speak, walking stick, was that this was gifted to me from the congregation, the board, and it is a walking stick that says, "I have never had a more beautiful walk," inscribed Georgia O'Keeffe. And this was a gift, and there was also a gift. The same walking stick was given to Reverend Brendolyn. So it was her releasing, and she had her stick. And so today, Spirit said, bring this up, because it's significant, and it means so much to me, because I've never had a more beautiful walk, and we have just begun. So, besides taking a nap, I want to thank you, Karen. That was such an exhausting list. And I want to thank Elisheva as well for Stand By Me, and Brian for that. Just give them some more love. And I want to thank you. And I appreciate every one of you more than I can say, and those on the cyber sanctuary. And I appreciate your appreciation. One of the things we're learning in the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success is that to be able to receive graciously compliments and appreciation. So the ministry does not revolve around the minister, by the way. The ministry at Unity Santa Fe is not the minister. The ministry at Unity Santa Fe is you, is the village. We are a village of beings that are here to serve as love, to remember who we are, and to serve the global village as that love. Now, you probably have heard it takes a village to raise a child, right? And that's an African proverb where all the whole community supports having a good environment for the child, knowing that everybody plays a part. And you know that meditation we did at the beginning here? That came in the moment. I did not have a pre-planned. Usually I come up here for meditation, and so that whole thing about the puzzle pieces, I was like, oh, this is fun, you know. I don't prepare usually the meditation. I let Spirit bring whatever picture she has. So it takes a village, but not just to raise a child. It takes a village to get any meaningful change in the world done. It takes a village. It's not a solo event. So we, as Unity Santa Fe, are a village that is uniting for peace, for environmental health, for solving the issues of our time, racism and homelessness and hunger, you name it. We are here to reunite and know that each one of us plays an important part. We do have that vision here and the mission. And our mission collectively is to, first of all, raise consciousness, because everything in our world starts here. It's an outpicturing. So we raise consciousness. We transform lives by raising the consciousness and heal the planet. Basically, the only thing we have to be about is raising consciousness. Because when we raise consciousness, the other two things happen. Lives are transformed. Caterpillars become butterflies. And we heal the planet by doing our inner work. So it is so important that you mentioned that the reason I'm here is because you all did your inner work, and so did I. So you've all heard the adage, the sum is far greater than its... Well, because that is true, I want to talk about you. I had me talked about. We went from the me, now we're going to the we. Right? You take me with the M, and you flip it over, and you're looking up at the we. It is the village that we are here. See, each one of us is an instrument in the symphony of love of our world. You're an instrument of peace and love and joy and harmony. The question is, do you know what your instrument is? And maybe you do. What's the instrument? What's my passion about? But not just to know it, but when you are an instrument, you want to play your instrument. You want to practice. You want to be in that symphony, the eternal, infinite symphony of divine love, here to raise consciousness, transform lives, and heal the planet, beginning with me, one person at a time. I do my work. That's all I'm really required to do. And yet, when I do my work, I join the community. And we join together. And we have what is called sacred service, love in action teams. That's what we call our teams here at Unity. We call it love in action. Because everything is about the love in action. And how do you play your instrument here in Unity Santa Fe? That's my question. Have you been playing your part? Or is it now time to find your part and participate? You know, you're not a part, you're a part of. And together we create a symphony of love and joy and transformation. So I'm excited, and I am holding a vision that each of us finds our part. And your parts might change. You might be playing one instrument and you go, you know what? I kind of am getting drawn to the drums. What can I drum up? We have teams, and because of COVID, those teams kind of went down just to the bare minimums. And so we're going to rise up. We have things that are being called forth. We have outside grounds that could be attended if you're someone who likes the outside. If you like to join in the flower team or our production team or are coming in early to bless the area by lighting the candles, there's so many ways that you can find your part, your instrument, and play it here. Now, would you like to know, there's 5 ways that we can, it's not you, it's a we. 5 ways that we can be the most magnificent village ever. Would you like to know what these 5 ways are? Oh, I didn't see everybody say yes. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you might still be napping from the nap of, listening to what all Reverend Liz did in the last few months. So, we are going to learn these 5 lessons by the great way shower. Oh, that's way showers. It's our feathery friends, the geese. Yes, the feathery friends called the geese are here to assist us in becoming the village of love that we can be. So you might want to take notes or not, but how many of you have lived in an area where there's been geese flying over? Oh, most of us. I'll tell you what, in Fort Collins, that was a daily, and I watched these V's, and I was fascinated, and they'd be honking because we had a pond near our home. It was fantastic just to watch those birds migrating 2 different times a year and in those V's. So the first lesson from the geese, and this is from Dr. Robert McNeish of Baltimore. Well, as a bird flaps its wings, or as you're flapping your wings, the birds create an uplift. An uplift, which means that the birds following are having an easier time. They're having less effort. Anybody like less effort, right? Actually, we're studying in the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, the law of least effort. And what that means is that we need to join in with others for a common goal. See, the geese aren't just flying around going, well, what should we do today? No, they have a common goal. They're migrating. They have it inbred that and they travel together. Why? Because 71% of the flying effort, it can go longer ranges, 71% more when they're flying with a flock. That's a lot of percentage that they can go further, longer, and faster, more efficiently. So, as geese in the flock of this village, are you moving together? Are we moving together for the transformation of our world? As we work together, we are making it easier. I'm all into that. So how do you do that? You raise consciousness. How do you raise consciousness? You take a class. You do spiritual study. You engage in spiritual practices. You do the things that help raise consciousness, whatever that is for you. That's practicing your instrument so that you get fine-tuned and you can play together in a way that really shifts things. Number 2 lesson. Well, sometimes the geese are flying and one falls out of formation. Let me ask you, have you ever fallen out of formation? Come on. We all fall out of formation somehow or another. I'm just not feeling the vibe anymore. Well, what's the matter? Well, perhaps I need to get back in formation. I need to get back in a group. I need to get in a class. I need to join a team of like-minded others because I get the support that I can't get when I'm flying alone. That's what this one is. It's about being humble enough to know when you're off course and to be able to ask for a prayer. Please ask for a prayer. We're going to be changing up our prayer chaplain program soon because the responsibility for your spiritual journey and asking for help will be upon you, and you're all high-level conscious beings. So when you're having struggle, call and ask for a prayer. I call people when I'm having a challenge because I'm too much in the situation. I need somebody objective to know the truth for me. So be humble enough to ask for help and get back in formation, get back into your groove with the others, and be willing to help others. Number 3, the point person in the V, the point person or the point goose, doesn't have the upliftment from others, right? Because it's in the front. It's got the hardest job is to flapping its wings because it doesn't have the support of others in front of it. By the way, you know what's great about a V? Is that everybody can see ahead. Nobody's standing in front of anybody. I thought that was a kind of cool point, was that everybody has good sight. You're not really behind somebody. You're having your own space. Back to your point, goose. Sometimes they get tired. That means the leadership People who have been doing our ushering and greeting have been there diligently every single Sunday. Well, sometimes they need to rest. Sometimes people on teams need a little rest. That's why you're all employed. I'm employing you today. You have all been employed. You didn't know you were coming for a job interview. Well, the fact that you showed up, you're all hired to find your place on the team, because it's going to be your turn or your turn. It's my turn. I'm going to step in and I'm going to help out. So the person who is running the cyber sanctuary, Christina, can go, oh, I can take a Sunday off and I'm not doing what I love to do, because if we're not serving in love, please don't do it. That's really the truth. This is coming not from an obligation, but because I want to give. I want to give to the divine. And every one of you, when you serve, you're serving the divine, because it's in every one of us. So, what was number 3? It's the point person. What this is really saying is that everybody has a gift to give. What's your gift? What's your instrument? And step in and realize, that's mine. I'm going to help out with that. So we give each other some rest. Number 4, how many of you have ever heard the honking of a goose? They're pretty obnoxiously loud, right? Honk, honk, right? So that goose, you know what that honking is for? It's for encouragement. The goose honking is helping the goose in front of it to keep up its speed. It's encouraging, it's praise. It's like, keep going, honk, honk, honk. Now, because we're going to follow the lessons of the geese, when you are honking, make it an encouraging honk instead of something else. Your honking needs to come from appreciation, encouragement. So all honking is to raise people up, to encourage one another. So use your horn mindfully when you're honking. Complaining, hurry up, whining, you're not doing it fast enough, that doesn't work. Come on, you can do it, I know, da-da-da. So supporting with your honking. The 5th lesson from the geese. Sometimes geese get injured. Sometimes they're maybe shot, unfortunately. And sometimes they're sick. When a goose falls out of formation and needs to go and heal or let itself go on the ground, 2 other geese drop down and go with him or her. They stay with that goose until the goose recovers or makes its transition. Then the geese either join another formation, another flock, or they catch up with their flock. The lesson is that when somebody's down and out, and we all have our turns when we're down and out, that we allow others to come and be supportive for us, with us. You know, we all have losses, we all have hard times. Let's be there for each other in the tough times, just like the goose who sits by someone's side and holds space and gives them love and asks, what can I do to support? We do that for each other in good times and bad times. This is the 5 lessons of the geese, that once we employ these lessons and realize that we have just as much sense as the geese, as the geeses, right? And that together we use these lessons to realize that we are the village of love, that there are action teams and ways to support one another. I'm thankful that you showed up here today and on Cyber Sanctuary to realize your part in this beautiful thing called the village, the global village. We are Unity Santa Fe Village, however, we're bigger. We are part of that infinite symphony of love. And it's all about the love, to remind ourselves and one another and to ask, what's my part to play? Because I'm a part of this village. And I am celebrating, and I'm excited because I get to find out, oh, cool, you're going to be part of that team, that love team, you're going to do that? Awesome. And if you have something that's calling to you that you'd like to be a part of or want to know more about, talk to Brendan. Yes, Brendan, our new communications man, who is here, and you inform him or ask him questions, because he's our point man. He's right there in the front. So talk to him, send him an email, say, I'm interested. If you have the specific, go for it. And know that we are the village of love. And I raise you and I praise you in the name of love. Honk, honk. Rattle, 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 crash, beep, beep. And so it is. So let's put a little love in our hearts and know that it's already there. And Ellie, Sheva, come on up.